CT himself doesn't even trade crypto. So you maybe want...
Everywhere, freaks and herrings, dykes and fairies, tell me where it's empty. Tax the rich, feed the poor, till they're rich no more.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How's everyone doing today? Let me know if the audio and the video is good. I'm getting some sort of error about the bit rate being low. I don't know what the fuck that means. It says my bit rate is low. I don't know how to change that. Yeah, let me know if the quality is good. I'm dealing with some technical issues still, unfortunately. One of my monitors, I got a new monitor, right? I got the new PC, so I had to get a new monitor to take advantage of the new PC. So I got like a ridiculously expensive Asus fucking 244 hertz monitor. It's sick, but I have 3 monitors. So I put my original main monitor on the right. I got my new main one. And the one I had on the right, I put as my vertical monitor to replace the oldest of the 3. But I don't know what happened, but the vertical one just won't turn on. So it's a bit annoying. I don't have as much. It's weird. I'm comfortable with, all 3 screen real estate. For when I'm doing the streams, I can have the chat up on one and then the preview and on the other one, and then the charts on the main. So I'm operating a little bit of a handicap here, so I apologize. I also plan on doing a lot more video content this month. I'm going to be home the entire month of April. I have no trips planned, which is great. Here we go. Might just break out right here on stream. Just bears getting eviscerated, man. Might just go right now. I don't know. Is it going to? Pretty sure. Looks like it wants to rip. But anyways, I'm getting the new monitor tomorrow. So hopefully that should all be dealt with. We'll be back to normal. Lots of video content. Don't have a ton of time for a stream tonight. I'm supposed to go play basketball in a couple hours. But I want to get something out for you guys quickly. Obviously, it's a new week, a new month, and a new quarter. So I wanted to kind of give you my thoughts on, where I expect Bitcoin to be going. And trade ideas that I'm looking at and things of that nature. So we'll start with some high time frame analysis on Bitcoin. We'll do Ethereum as well, and then we will look at the dollar. We'll look at ES and maybe Dogecoin with the craziness that's going on in some of the metals. I'm going to try and keep it tight and concise. So if I'm not checking the chat too much, that's why. I just want to get I just want to get the video going and the analysis out there. Real quick, shout out to the sponsors of these streams, Prime XBT. If you want to support me, you want to support the channel, the best way to do that, use the Prime XBT link in the description of this video. Use code Mayne50, deposit some money, get on there. You can trade equities on there. You can trade gold and silver with me on there. And that's the best way to support me as it stands right now. So obviously, as you can see here, looking quite bullish, looking like this wants to break out. I'm probably going to close the remainder of my short here, to be honest with you, because this looks like it wants to just rip to 30K. So let's look at the monthly, right? So starting out on the monthly here, we have the run of the low, the break of the high that led to the low, right? And a big push up, a retest, and another push up, right? So super bullish, high time frame potential bottom here, right? We have the super long accumulation period. We have a deviation of the range low. We have a breakout, retest of the high, and another leg. So just looking at the monthly chart, I've talked about this before, and I've posted charts about it, right? Based on just the monthly. What the fuck is that? I think a move up into here is not completely out of the question. Now, this is obviously the monthly chart. So what can happen? We can do this, then we can do this, and then we can go up there, and these are huge ranges. So I'm not just saying buy here and sell at 42,000. That might not work, right? Because we might dip to 25,000 first. And what are you going to do? Are you going to hold that entire way down? Probably not. But I do think that this is a reasonable area to target based on just how the monthly is looking. Very clear breakout of this range. I think this is the next draw on the monthly chart on the high time frame. Now, would I like us to do this first? Sure, because then I can long some more and buy some more spot potentially. But if we don't do that, you just got to be prepared that this is in an uptrend and we just got to play longs. Okay, so not too much on the near term on the monthly here for us to do. We'll look over at the weekly now. Weekly chart looking, relatively bonkers as well. So we have this setup that we were watching here, right? With this weekly kind of breaker that just never got retested, right? So I wanted to see potentially this breaker get tagged for some sort of long opportunity here, right? Wanted to see something like this, and then target again up towards that monthly area, which is confluent with this weekly supply up here. You also have this weekly fair value gap up here. So lots of confluence in terms of areas above price that I want to target. It's just a matter of getting into the trades, right? Are we going to get a deep pullback? Was this the deep pullback and we're now just going to have another huge leg? Or are we going to get another pullback before the next leg? I don't know. But again, I'm just playing level to level. I'm not trying to overcomplicate it. We came up into this weekly resistance here, right? A little bit of rejection. Now we're pushing right back into it. I don't suspect that this holds for too long. If we start trading and holding above 28,800, right, which is right about where we're trading at right now, I think we run this high up here at 34,000 rather quickly. So again, weekly bullish, just like the monthly. You have a clear range, deviation, test the high, pull back to the lower part of the range. Now we're breaking out. Do we get a retest of the high and then we go up? I don't know. Right now, it's looking like this just wants to put in a big green candle this week, right up into here. And if that happens, that's okay, right? We will look to get into long positions. So again, weekly time frame, nothing really super close to price. I talked about, this 25,200 area and below is an area I'd like to long. That's based on this weekly breaker here. Okay, zooming in now to the 12-hour chart. So now we're getting into more of the intraday stuff or intraday, whatever the fucking term is, and stuff where we can actually frame a trade idea. So what we're going to try and do here is lay out a couple of scenarios that I think are possible. And I'll show you guys kind of how I plan on getting involved based on what happens. As you guys know, I always talk about this. I'm looking for if this, then that scenarios. If this happens, I will do that. If that happens, then I will do this. That is how I trade, right? So in my last video that I posted before I went home to visit my folks, over the weekend here, we were in a short based on this SFP, and the logic was simple. I thought maybe we've got this kind of range here, right? Okay, we ran the high. Maybe we run back and take out these lows. Okay, so that is the entire premise of that trade was we ran the high, ran the low, ran the high. Maybe we go back to the lows here. How the fuck is this giving me a fucking notification? One sec here. I have it on DND, yet it still fucking gave me a notification. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so that was the entire premise for that short was, hey, we ran the high here. Maybe we run the low now. This is kind of the 12-hour range I'd been working with. But if I'm sticking true to how I analyze the charts, right? We did break above a key high here on the 12-hour here. So let's see here. Right? Because you have this low to this high here. Right? And then we made a new high here. So technically, you now have this 12-hour bullish range. So when you frame it this way, this more looks like the retest into the lower part of the range right here. This was the buy, right? And I'd highlighted this in Telegram. I said, hey, this low here is going to be key. If we SFP this low, we could see a bounce. I closed some of my short into this spike. And very simply, it's just this 12-hour range, SFP within this 12-hour range. This is right into your OT, right into your sweet spot. If I pull the fib from here to here, that's right on the 0.62. There you go. 62, 7.70.5, 79 spikes right into it, right? So I wanted to see a potential low time frame long form here. We had a lot of confluence down here. You have this order block. You also have this, which is effectively a breaker. So we're actually kind of in this entire breaker zone. You guys know how I like to mark these based on this up move that took out this low over here. Right? So this is an area that it makes sense to look for longs in based on how I analyze the markets. Now, I initially shorted here. I had a really good entry. I covered some here. I'm still holding 75% of my short. So obviously now I'm back at break even on this short. And I believe my stops are actually probably getting triggered because my stops close. My stops are above here. So my stops are above here, which is just under break even on the trade because my entry was around 20, right around where we are now. I closed 25% on the sweep here. So round tripped a good healthy chunk of the short, which sucks, but it is what it is, right? I thought we were going to trade a little lower. I wasn't on screen. We had the Kobe drama and the Ethereum or Elon changing the Twitter icon to Doge. I actually don't think any of that shit really matters. Like that big post that guy made being like, I'm taking a break off social media because Kobe manipulated the market and cost me $100 grand. It's like, no, you got stopped out on a trade that you took. It has nothing to do with what Kobe said or what Kobe did. It does not fucking matter. It's your fault. Good or bad, it's your fault. If you lose money on a trade, it is 100% your fault every single time. No one made you press the buy button. No one made you press the sell button. No one made you put your stop where you put it, okay? No one made you put your TP where you put it. It's all on you. So don't be a victim. Don't be a little whiny bitch. Shit happens. I don't even fully understand what Kobe released. It was some sort of like hash code that someone broke, and it ended up being like a rumor about, CZ and Binance getting like a red notice, something like that. And the market crashed because of it. It's like it dumped like 2 or 3%, barely moved. Not really that big of a move, right? We're still in this range. And if you're getting stopped out for 100 grand within this range, well, first of all, you're trading pretty big size, but you must have had a pretty tight stop. Like you got stopped out on this wick, on this SFP. You were the liquidity, bro. Right? Like this is, we had this level marked as saying, hey, if they sweep this low, I might want to cut my shorts. You had your stop right here. That's the retail spot for stops, right? That's why I like to get in after the stop run. These guys get rinsed. Now you're more comfy, right? But it is what it is, right? I wasn't home. I was driving. It's like a 5-hour drive to get home here. So I did not manage the trade at all yesterday. I got home. I was tired. Woke up. We were trading down here. So I thought, okay, maybe this is still going to roll over. But just pushed up again here on the 12-hour. So looking at this, right? Breaker, sweep, push up, right? This next 12-hour candle doesn't close for a while. This is going to be the high to watch, right? And you can watch this one here. But see how we close relative to any of these three highs. If it's a big SFP, then maybe we look to hop back into shorts, right? But right now, someone just told me I don't have the Prime logo up. Thank you, sir. Thank you, kind sir. But right now, this looks bullish. Go down to the hourly here. So we had our kind of classic setup that I like, right? So we have the SFP. We have the break in market structure here. And then this is your breaker, right? Setup. So the reason I didn't take this long myself was I thought that like I would have probably wanted to have my stop down here. Right? Because it should not go back below here if this is going to go up, right? Should not come back below here. Got the break, got the retest. If I would have had my stop at the breaker, sure, the risk reward makes sense. But with the stop all the way down here, I just didn't think the RR was there for the long, right? Because we basically would have had to target well into 30,000, right? 30,400 just to get a 2-to-1 R. It doesn't mean that this can't happen. It absolutely can. But I thought the RR was a little loose to just be entering here. So I wanted to see, I could have had it below the breaker and that would have been better. If I took the long, I obviously did not. But I wanted to, based on how I was looking at the chart, I'm like, I think this is where the invalidation is. Because we could very well trade below some of these lows, right? And then go up. And then that would have given me the tighter invalidation I was looking for. But it looks like it might just be going off of this breaker, right? So pretty straightforward stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not in this trade, but hopefully the logic makes sense, right? We have our 12-hour analysis, okay? Bullish range, bullish SFP, clear upside objectives, 12-hour bullish order block. Go into the hourly. Within that 12-hour bullish order block, we got a bullish swing failure pattern, and we got a break in market structure here. Right? So that's all the ingredients for a trade, right? That's all the ingredients for a trade. So if you guys follow me, you know how I trade by now. You know the type of things I like to see to get in a setup. That's the top-down analysis to give you this long right here. Right? I didn't take it again. I'm not trying to say I'll take it. This is obviously hindsight, but hopefully the thought process makes sense. This is how I would have broken the charts down and how I would have made my decision. So I'll have to pull up Bybit and see how my trade is doing because I'm almost certain my stop is above this high for the rest of my position. I brought it closer to break even. Originally it was higher. But I'm sure I got stopped out on some. But I took a little bit of profit, round trip the rest. It is what it is. I'm not going to lose money on the trade. Can this still roll over? Can this still go down? Of course, right? Anything can happen. Stock market can collapse tomorrow and dump. Dollar can rip. Lots can happen. But just looking at this objectively, how I mark the charts, this looks bullish to me, and it looks like it wants to trade higher. Could I be wrong? I think the only person who's bearish on the timeline really is SZ and XO. They've been crushing it both up and down, and I know damn well that if price keeps going up, SZ will just flip to long, right? He has no aversion to flipping bias, nor should you. So just because he's adamant that we're going to trade lower doesn't mean that he won't flip to longs if things get bullish again, right? So we'll have to wait and see what happens. It's, Tuesday. This looks like it wants to break out. You can throw on Monday's range here. I gave you guys the setup here, how it played out. How do you get in this at this point? I would need to see some sort of sweep of a low, right? Maybe this one. Maybe this one, maybe this one, and then a break in market structure to get long. So imagine we have a SFP here, right? And then a break in market structure. That would be how I would get in now if it does pull back. It might not. This could very well just go up from here. And if that's the case, I will not be in the trade. But if we get that kind of a pullback, then I will have, potentially an opportunity to get into a levered long. But right now it looks pretty good. I think the only bearish case really is that this is just a range still. Right? This is just a range and we ran the high and now maybe we're going to run the lows. We do have liquidity below in the form of that weekly bullish breaker. and below these lows. There's a lot of froth in the market. A lot of people are very much like, hey, we're going to 30K, Ethereum to 2K. A lot of people long. So there is potential, that this can sell off still. But right now, how I mark up the charts, it looks bullish. So we're going to have to wait and see. I do want to see how the next kind of handful of candles close. If we're just trading above here or here, but we're not really getting any consistent closes up there, it could just be a deviation, right, of one of these highs and then sell back off. So that's very much possible. The other option here is you kind of just wait. So if we see here on the 12 hour, right, this SFP should now hold. So if we start trading below this low, right, if we start trading below this low, then maybe you short it for a bigger move down. But right now, I wouldn't fight the trend. The trend appears to be up. Ethereum very clearly broke out. So it's just a matter of, okay, how do I get involved? And what are the areas that I'm potentially look to do so? So that to me is, if you want to get on the long side, it's got to be some sort of sweep of these lows to get involved within this gray box. On the short side, any sort of deviation above these highs here that then become weak would be the reason to short. So if we get another push up, trade up here, and then back below the high, then boom, right? There's your risk. There's your entry, and we're trading this all the way back into the range. That'd be the only kind of short setup I really see here is one of these highs. We just deviate, right? So trade up, maybe back in, then maybe that was the high, and we were just running this before lower. That would be the only kind of short scenarios that I see being, interesting at this point. But it looks to me like this wants to break out, and it looks to me like it wants to break out and run up into these highs over here. So if we do get that big breakout, these highs over here where I'm interested, I'd say still remain cautious as long as we're trading below 28,800. That's the number I kept saying in Telegram. As long as we're below this high, I think still cautious. I would not chase along here. I would wait for some sort of dip or some sort of breakout. So we start trading above here and put in bullish market structure, the next level above there, in my opinion, is like 34,000. Let's see here. It's up here, 32,000. So if we're going to be really bullish, you can miss the next 3% to the upside and get in higher, and there's not a big deal there, right? It's not a big deal in my opinion. Again, if you want a confirmation on the short side, wait for us to break and close below here. If you want confirmation on the long side, wait for us to break and close above there. Anything in between, you're kind of anticipating. You're saying, okay, I think this is going to now bounce back up, or I think this is going to reject and trade lower. If you want the confirmation trade, which there's nothing wrong with, I think those levels are pretty obvious. And the upside is still there. So people are like, oh, don't chase the breakout, blah, blah, blah. To me, longing here is riskier than longing above here. And the reason being is longing here, we can still very easily reject. But if we start closing above this high and putting in decent market structure, you have a large leg, a 10% move to the next level up at 32K. Plenty of opportunity to make money on that leg, not guessing if it's going to happen or not a little early. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. Let's see what happens here. The hourly just put in another bullish market structure break, right? So again, higher high. We have our low, our high, our low, higher high. This is now looking like a higher low, potential higher high here. So let's see, do we get a pullback? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but it's putting in bullish market structure on the hourly. That could potentially lead to bullish market structure on the 12-hour. 12-hour range, right? Remember, is here and here. This would be kind of internal range here. So if we close this next 12-hour above here, that's bullish. Same as here. You have kind of internal range market structure, but the 12-hour market structure is this low to this high. So if this is a higher low, we now need to see a close above here for a higher high. But the hourly's already started to turn up. Let's see if it continues through to the high time frames, because remember, the hourly can do this, and the 12-hour was just doing this, right? So this entire uptrend on the hourly was just a little hiccup on the 12-hour, and vice versa, right? You can have the hourly in a downtrend, thinking it's going to nuke, and then you get a huge green candle, and in reality, it was just the pullback on this higher time frame leg that you're witnessing here. So that can very well happen. So that's why we look at market structure from a top-down perspective, right? I want to say what's going on the high time frame, and then I want to translate that to the lower time frames. So yeah, nice little push here to start the fresh day here at 6:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesday. So we're technically trading, I guess, Wednesday. We're going to be going into, London Open, Asian session next. We'll be monitoring, but if I'm not in a position, if I'm not in any trades, I've got alert here, alert here, alert here, and then alerts at these lows. So 5 or 6 alarms saying, hey, if we start interacting with one of these highs or lows, I want to be watching and gauging the reaction. Because if I put an alert here, we run up here and then SFP, and then start putting in some low time frame bearish structure, I might want to hop in a short. And vice versa. If I have an alert here, we trade below here, but then it's an SFP, then we break market structure to the upside, I want to get in a long. So that's what I would be doing. I'd be setting alerts, and I'd be waiting and seeing, because unless you long this dip yesterday or before this spike, you're chasing on the long side, and on the short side, you're shorting a breakout right now. So you got to be careful. Let's take a quick look at the chat here. Mayne is the top 5 cutest crypto streamers. How many crypto streamers are there? And who's my competition? Because that's either a compliment or it's an unbelievably bad burn. Yeah, don't let them get to you. I'm not, guys. I know sometimes I rage a little bit on the timeline. I've got to be better at controlling my emotions. Sometimes you just get messages and it's just the wrong time and it takes me off, and I want to respond and I want to tell the person to, suck my fucking dick, fuck you, and call them all sorts of names. I've got to realize I have a very big audience, and everyone sees those tweets, and I probably shouldn't be sending them. In reality, I should make a burner account or an alt account, and I should use that for all my shit talking. And 99% of the interactions I have with you guys are all super positive, right? It's very nice. People sending me nice messages about how they're learning, how they're making money. But all it takes is one asshole to one bad apple to spoil the bunch. It's funny how that works. And as I've grown on social media, I've heard, I hate the term influencer, but influencers talk about being like, yeah, dude, don't read the comments because you're only going to notice the bad ones. And it's so true. I'll have so many DMs of people saying nice stuff, and I'll get one asshole, and that's just triggers me. So I deleted a few tweets the other day because I sent out some stuff telling people to shut up and shit like that. And I'm like, I don't need that kind of energy on my feed. I'm just going to start ignoring and blocking these people without even a question, right? Usually maybe I'll do some back and forth. I'll see what they have to say, or I'll talk shit back. Now it's just going to be insta block, insta ignore. Focus on the people who are, enjoying the content, not the few people who aren't. Happy Tuesday, Zach. I missed you too, Jay. Chuck Smith says, Mayne, what up, homie? Not much, bro. You ever check out the seal rescue vids? I can't say I have, but you might have given me something to YouTube tonight and watch. My girlfriend's out of town, so yeah, I tried to upgrade to 1440p, so you should be able to see this in the highest definition possible. Yeah, I connected the power cable, but I think it like blew or something. Like I think when I was unplugging it or the power went out maybe when I was away, but the monitor's fried. I've tried with multiple power cables, multiple outlets, it's fried. Would I beat Size Chad in a fight? I don't know. Size Chad's a pretty big dude, and he's my friend, so I wouldn't fight him. Camera quality is so good. You've never seen the neck in this much HD, huh? Is this what you guys want to see? You fucking freaks. How are we looking today? Are we looking big? Is the neck looking thick? Okay. Twitch, let's see here. Mayne, I was cleaning the trunk of my car and it somehow closed in on me and now I'm locked inside. Can you send help? So instead of calling the police or a family member or anything like that, you decided to tune in my stream and ask me to help you. I appreciate that very much. Pancake Areola, what a name. But no, unfortunately, you're going to be stuck in the trunk until we cross 30K. So if you guys want Pancake Areola to get out of the trunk and be free, we're gonna have to pump price past 30K. It's the only way. It's the only way. Enjoying your Telegram. Thank you. You're welcome, Ali. Do you use any indicators or just PA? Just PA, man. That's it. Who would win in a fight, me or BitBoy? Me, absolutely. BitBoy and I aren't in the same category. He's short, is my understanding. I'm quite tall. I'm like 6'2". So we have Monday's range here as well. So that's very confluent with, this high here that we could potentially deviate. So that could be a short setup. If you're really keen on shorting, deviate Monday's high. If we break back inside, stop goes above, target mid-range, target low. That would be the Monday's range setup. Does not have to happen, right? We very well could just be breaking out here and trade much higher. And I think Ethereum looks better than Bitcoin. We'll talk about that in a moment here. So let's start looking at, let's get all my levels back. Start looking at Ethereum. So Ethereum to me is a lot cleaner on the 12-hour. So I'll start at the high time frame. Similar to Bitcoin, right? So Ethereum hasn't performed as well as Bitcoin off the bottom. Bitcoin has performed stronger. If you just look at these two, right? Here's your accumulation. It's already broken out. Ethereum has not yet. So you could argue that Ethereum is lagging, right? If you look at BTC dominance, right? It's been going up. So BTC's been the more dominant asset this year, right? Better upside performance. You look at FBTC. Most of this year, right? FBTC's been going down. So eventually, Ethereum is going to take the reins. And usually what we see happen in any sort of crypto rally is you see Bitcoin lead the rally. Then you see Ethereum and other major altcoins catch up while Bitcoin generally starts going sideways. And then you see the money flow into your mid caps and then flow into your lower caps. And then usually everything has a big correction and a big old dumperooski. And you can go see that happen over and over again. Go look at previous Bitcoin rallies. Look at just the last all-time high, right? Here's your Bitcoin rally in April. Okay. Then we start going sideways. So we rally into April. Then we start going sideways. What happens to Ethereum? It's down here when Bitcoin is at all-time high. Then Ethereum takes over while Bitcoin's going sideways. Right? And then everything collapses. So that's generally what happens here. So we topped in November here. This wasn't the same. This was more kind of in sync. But this was very clear. This move was very much in line with that, right? So Bitcoin went up from January, February, March, and then topped out in April. And then Ethereum was consolidating while Bitcoin was pushing all-time high. Then when Bitcoin started going sideways and doing this, right? Ethereum went on its rally. So we could see something similar be gearing up right here. So if you look at Ethereum, it has not broken out yet like Bitcoin. Bitcoin has already had that big high time frame breakout of the long accumulation range, right? That big box here. Ethereum is still within it. So if we look at the weekly, very much bullish, right? We have a potential bullish weekly order block forming here. That weekly breaker setup that I wanted to see play out on Bitcoin, it never retested. Look what happened on Ethereum. Up candle for a down move that took out a low, break the high, retest, pushing. Looking at the weekly chart, this looks like here and then here is coming. A lot of people are talking about 2K as a level. I don't think 2K is very relevant. I do think this high obviously is important here, which is around $2,000. So this high will get run. But I think if we really break out, we're going to snap up into this weekly fair value gap, which is this gray box from this candle here to there. It was only downward price action. So avoid, some people call it, whatever you want to call it, an imbalance, displacement, fair value gap. I don't care. It's this box. This is the draw to me. This high, then this box. So if this is going to continue to push up, this is the perfect type of setup to send us there based on the weekly. So the weekly on Ethereum looks very good. Looks very bullish. Now the question is Ethereum going to continue to outperform, or is Ethereum going to begin to outperform Bitcoin, or is Bitcoin going to have the next leg up still, and then maybe it's Ethereum's time? So the way that we'll answer that is by looking at Ethereum BTC. But real quick, we'll finish the analysis on Ethereum USD. So there's your 12-hour breaker. What happened within the breaker? 12-hour SFP. Another break in market structure. Another break in market structure. This is just straight up bullish. Definitely was a long setup down here. Right? Probably this. Stop below here. There's your breaker play. Right? So similar to the one I showed you on Bitcoin, this would have been an option. And then another one probably fucking right around here. Yeah, because this never got took. So right here, you could see a breaker play. There's your high that broke the low. Very deep retrace, but your stop would be below the wick. There's your next leg. So it's bullish, straight up bullish. Gave you kind of the bullish triggers. So I always talk about this. I'm like, what do I want to see at the area? So this is a weekly bullish order block. It's way too big to frame a trade. You can't just enter here and have your stop down here. You can, but then your target has to be based on the weekly as well. Because if your stop is going to be, almost 20% away from your entry, your position size is going to be very small. And then obviously you're going to need a target that is 40, 50% away from your entry for the risk reward to make sense. But I always talk about, you use these concepts and things that I share, these breakers, these order blocks, etc. These are areas where you think price will have a reaction, points of interest, areas of interest, whatever you want to call it, demand, supply. Yes, you can enter based on it alone, but I like to use the top down, right? I mark out the high time frame areas, and then I want to see low time frame price action give me a clue that we're going to get the reaction that I want. So if I think this gray weekly box should be support on the 12-hour, I want to see what? Bullish price action, a bullish SFP followed by a bullish market structure break. If I then refine down to the hourly, right? So let's just do, hold on. If I now refine down to the hourly, so we have this, and we have this. So on the 12-hour, this is our breaker. So this is a microcosm of what I just showed you on the weekly and the 12-hour. Now I'm doing the 12-hour and the hourly. What do I want to see within this 12-hour bullish block? Can I enter here with my stop here? Absolutely. But I like to get in on the low time frame. I like to get in with a better risk reward. What do I want to see happen within this area? I don't know, maybe a bullish SFP and a bullish break in market structure. There's your retest. Now your stop is here instead of here. Entry is effectively the same. You're entering near the top of the box, but now your stop is at 1760 instead of down here at 1680. And all that is using that top-down analysis, right? High time frame, areas of interest, low time frame price action. Is it congruent? If I'm looking to be bullish in this 12-hour blocks, I want to see 1 hour bullish price action. Okay? So Ethereum looks good, right? We have this 12-hour breaker that's playing out right now. We just broke out of this range that we've been in. So Bitcoin is still within this range. Ethereum broke out. You have this 12-hour candle closing through the high here. So if I'm looking at just Ethereum in a vacuum, right? What do I see? I see a low here. And then I'm waiting for a high to form. Maybe this is the high. Maybe we push higher. But I'm waiting for a range high or a range to form. And then I'm looking to buy the dip. So right now, let's assume this 12-hour candle closes here and the next 12-hour candle closes red. Then I have my 12-hour range and I'm looking to buy the lower part of that range in this 12-hour order block. And what would I want to see in this 12-hour order block? Bullish price action. That simple, right? So I still need to wait and see. This breakout is in progress because you could see here, for example, you have your low, right? And then you're like, okay, maybe this is the high, but then the next candles go up. That was never a swing high, right? I need to see a swing high form here to get my 12-hour range. So right now, the top of this 12-hour move, we don't know where it is yet, but wherever it comes in, maybe it's here, maybe it's up here, this will become my range. This swing low to wherever this next 12-hour swing high is formed. And then that will be the range in which I operate and which I look to buy the dip. Just like on Bitcoin here, right? We had our 12-hour low. I didn't know if this was going to be the high. It ended up being here. Now we have a swing high, swing low. We have our 12-hour range. Buying the dip into the lower part of this 12-hour swing. So we're waiting for something similar to print here on Ethereum. I need to know where the high is going to be. So it's going to have to put in 2 more 12-hour candles, right? We're going to have to see where this one closes. And if the next one closes lower, then that will be my swing because you'll have a high, a higher high, a lower high. That would become my 12-hour swing. Now I'm looking to potentially buy dips into here if I get it. Obviously, anything can fucking happen. This can trade straight to 2K from here without pulling back at all. But that's how I operate, right? I mark out the levels. I wait for price to get to those levels. I look for opportunities to get involved. Simple as that. Still very early in the week, but we do have this here on Ethereum, right? So this is a swing high. This is a potential weekly bullish order block. So if we close the weekly above here, 1857, right? If we close the weekly above there, this is now a weekly bullish order block, and any sort of pullbacks into this area would be me wanting to long if I see some sort of lower time frame. So if it's the weekly, I'd probably want to see the 12-hour chart put in a bullish SFP or something of the sort. Just spat on my screen. Lovely. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to everyone, all right? Now let's look at Ethereum BTC. So this is going to be an interesting chart here. Well, let's look at the chat real quick. Sorry. Love your work, Mayne. Awesome explanation. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You just sounded so Canadian. Well, that makes sense because I am Canadian. Mayne, why did Michael Jackson like 24-year-olds? I think the problem was he liked people who were much younger than 24. 24-year-old is an adult. If it breaks the previous high, do you think we wait for H4 SFP or just short a 20.89 break? I don't think you just short anything, right? You gotta, I don't know what you mean. H4 SFP 20.89. You're talking about this level here? Yeah, I don't know. We got to see what happens here, right? But this looks like it wants to take this high out. How it closes, right? I don't know. But 1.5K until we can all get girls again. Honestly, kind of tired of being gay. I feel you, bro. My girlfriend hates it. She's like, when are you going to be straight again? I'm like, soon, baby. Soon, I promise. Weren't you in Cotton's Discord? I have no idea who Cotton is. You know what? That's a lie. I do know who Cotton is because every video someone mentions, like, are you a cotton candy trader? Did you learn from cotton candy? I don't know who that is, so I don't know why you guys keep asking. I'm not in his Discord. I don't know who he is, okay? But I'm assuming you're talking about cotton candy. If that's the same guy, I usually get one person per stream being like, aren't you a cotton candy PA trader? I'm like, I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know. Enjoying your Telegram. Thank you. Do you use any indicators? Just PA. I already answered that one. I've not looked at DXY yet. We will. Mayne, I love you, baby. I love you, bro. Algod has 100 alt accounts, does he? Boxing match, you were Ultra. Definitely me, because Ultra wouldn't show up. He would flake 100%. Hi, Mayne. Hope you're well. Have you buy spot to capitalize breakout move if there is breakout, considering the chart is quite bullish, or probably buy spot dip if there is quite a dip given? I'm not sure I fully understand that question. I don't think English is your first language, which is not your fault. But I'm not buying spot here. I would rather buy spot on some sort of dip. When we're in a uptrend and when I think the market is bullish, anytime we get like a 5-10% dip, like a big red day, those are the days generally where you can maybe add to those spot bags, right? But a lot of my spot has been accumulated already. Would I buy more on some sort of big correction down to here? Absolutely, but I'm not going to buy spot here. But if we get a 10-15% down move and I still think we're bullish, then yeah, that's when I would buy more spot. I love the flask. My girl got it for me. It's ridiculously big, but it's good. It keeps fucking water super goddamn cold. Okay, this is a funny question. And this gives me an idea for a YouTube video. So this guy says, are these trading bots you get on Fiverr scams, or do they work? Think about that logically. Do you think something that you can buy for a couple bucks on Fiverr, okay, I don't know if you've used Fiverr before, but the quality of the product is shit, okay? Do you think that something you can buy on Fiverr for a couple of bucks, that's a trading bot, it can actually beat the market? Because if it was that easy, right, wouldn't everyone be fucking loaded? Like, if you could create a bot that consistently makes money, why would you be selling it on Fiverr? Why wouldn't you be selling it to a fucking hedge fund? If you have a bot that works consistently, I'm not talking about back testing in the strategy tester. You have forward live results with a bot that is consistently making money, good money. I can introduce you to hedge funds who would look at buying it, right? But some shit you find on Fiverr, come on. Trading bots in general, in my opinion, are a scam. If it was as easy to beat the market as just coding something, right? Most trading bots are like moving average crossovers. They're like, when the 10 crosses the 20, you short. When the 20 crosses the 10, you long. Like, that's what most of them are. And they usually back test them and they say, oh, look, it would have done this, this, and this. But it's like, in real life, right? Having a bot that uses proper risk management that's consistently going to make money, I don't really think that that's a very common thing. And if it was, it's not something that would be sold on Fiverr. No different than the trading gurus on Fiverr who say for $300 they'll teach you everything you need to know about trading crypto. I thought it would be funny actually to do a video where I go on Fiverr and I buy some lessons from people. So I'll pretend I'm a noob. I saw a guy do this with guitar. He pretended he was a newbie on guitar and then he did a lesson and then he started fucking shredding, right? I think that would be funny to do here is I go on Fiverr and I take a lesson of someone who's going to teach me everything about trading and I act dumb, I play dumb, and then I slowly reveal that I know more than they probably do. I think that could be funny. But yeah, if you're finding a crypto bot on Fiverr, if you're trying to buy a crypto bot on Fiverr thinking it's going to make you money, I have a bridge to sell you. I don't think that's a good idea, my friend. Weird. I've been spot trading instead of leverage trading, but the amount is a little larger though. Am I the only one spot trading? Lots of people are spot trading. Most people should not fuck around with leverage at all. Bitcoin is volatile enough that you do not need leverage to make a bunch of money. We are up 80% almost in the first quarter of the year. You do not need leverage to make money in a market that moves that much. The Discord server public. Can I get the link? Go to tradermayne.com and there's instructions to join. It is free. Okay, so Ethereum BTC, right? We've been in this range forever. And what usually happens, right? We get maximum bearish on ETH here. Bitcoin's the best to the flippening. Bitcoin maxi land, the flippening, right? And now we are coming into the lower part of the range. So I don't want to be looking for shorts down here necessarily. I want to be looking for potentially reasons to get long, right? Into this lower part of the range here, we're into this weekly fair value gap. So this is this high to here. This is only upward price action. Fair value gap, okay? It's a down candle. Broke market structure, left a fair value gap. It's a nice order block, okay? So what do we have coming up? ETH Shanghai, right? So there's a major Ethereum, ETH update. I don't know why I say ETH. I don't know, guys. There's a major Ethereum update coming. Timing-wise, could be interesting, right? Maybe we see a rally going into that and then a dump. Or maybe we see a dump into that, and then a rally afterwards. I don't know, but this is going to be a very important chart to watch. I do think that this is due for a bit of a bounce here, and I posted this yesterday, and then today's candle was quite bullish, right? Last couple days, even a few days ago, I posted this down here. I said, I think this is due for some sort of mean reversion. So I'm basically just assuming, okay, we have our weekly bullish fair value gap. We're in the lower part of this high time frame range. We have this 12-hour downswing. I'm thinking, okay, maybe we retrace into here a little bit. That's all. We are coming up into some old lows here, right? So this could just puke back down. So this is the chart that you are going to want to watch if you are actively trading and you're trying to pick which of these coins you want to be involved with, right? Do you want to long Bitcoin or Ethereum? Let's assume both coins are going to break out, right? Ethereum's going to go higher and Bitcoin is also going to go higher. Which one do you want to long? So that question is kind of complex, but the most basic way to look at it, or the most basic way I look at it, I say, first of all, what chart is cleaner to me? If I see a setup very cleanly on Bitcoin and I don't on Ethereum, generally I'll take Bitcoin. But the second layer is, what is ETH BTC doing? Because if ETH BTC is bullish, right? If it's putting in higher highs and higher lows, ETH is likely going to be the higher beta play. It's going to outperform to the upside, and that's the coin you're going to want to long. And again, this type of analysis can be done for any coins. You can compare anything together. You can compare any assets together, right? And using the fraction, you can determine which of the two is stronger. So this is due for a bit of a mean reversion, but it still looks bad, right? Like, as much as this is potentially a weekly higher low, for now, the last, the daily chart is very much in a downtrend, right? You have your high, a low, lower high, lower low. So probably a lower high, right? So maybe Ethereum, right? Last couple days, Ethereum's been outperforming Bitcoin, but for now, this is still very much in a downtrend. But I do think that this is due for a bounce, and there could be a period here. We're seeing that a little bit the last couple days already, where Ethereum starts to lead the move and is stronger than Bitcoin. And you can see, right, Bitcoin's already broken out. Now it's kind of going sideways. Ethereum looks like it's ready to rip. So maybe that's what we see here, right? Maybe we see this bounce. I don't know how high, but Ethereum leads the next move up. And then we decide, okay, is this going to actually now break market structure and go back to the range highs? Or is it a lower high and we're going to trade back down? I don't know. But if I'm confident in at least this part, I can use that to make a decision, right? And so if I think that ETH BTC might bounce and the setup for the long on ETH USD is better, that's kind of like double confluence, right? I think ETH BTC is going to go up, and the setup I see on ETH USD is cleaner. That's the one that I want to play. So that's what I'm looking at right now on Ethereum BTC. I'm trying to say, I do think that this is due for a bounce. We're getting that bit of a bounce now. Question is, is this resistance here? Right? Are we going to reject from these old lows? Because if we reject from these old lows, even if everything goes up, Bitcoin's going to go up more. But based on how this chart looks, ETH Shanghai coming up, I do think there could be a period of time here where ETH actually gets to take the driver's seat for a little bit. But it has been getting smoked. It is in a downtrend. It has not broken any market structure to the upside as of yet. So keep that in mind, right? But this is what I'm watching for right now. A retracement into this 12-hour leg and then potentially lower again. I don't know. But right now, if I had to pick one of these to long, right, Ethereum's setup is cleaner. I don't really see the setup here on Bitcoin currently. Maybe some sort of sweep within the zone. But if Ethereum gets a decent pullback, this is super clean looking to me. I don't know if that will happen, but we'll keep an eye. So the dollar. We ran this big low over here, had the huge rally, and we basically fully retraced this move after running the high here. So I wanted to see us bounce from this weekly order block, right? So we have this weekly order block here. I said, okay, if this is what I'm hoping happens for the dollar, right? I kind of want to see this. I want to see this. Come on. I want to see up here. I don't know how high, maybe up here, maybe higher. But then I want to see a lower high and then a dump. And basically this is like a pullback in crypto and risk. And then the next leg up to 40 or however high it wants to go. That's kind of what I wanted to see. We might not get that. This might just roll over from right here and take out this low, right? So you got to keep that in mind. We SFP'd here. We got the reaction, but this move is basically fully retraced at this point. So I'm watching it. We have this weekly order block here. We started bouncing from it. I got bullish on the dollar and I was just straight up wrong. I was like, okay, here's the bounce. Maybe we bounce up to 104 now, but it just came up here and then rejected. Got another bounce. SFP'd, sold off. So this just looks weak. We've run these lows that I'd marked, right? We've run all those lows. Can it still bounce from here? Sure. But really, this is a 12-hour, kind of down leg that we've put in here. It's got to really do some work to start looking good. So initially, I think I would like to see it reclaim 102, basically. Right? 102. Reclaim that, and then maybe we can start working in a thesis that this is a higher low. But right now, this is just looks like a full retrace of this move. And gun to my head, this looks like what's going to happen next. Brief bounce and then another leg down. That's what I think looks the most likely based on the chart right now. However, I'm still open to the idea of the dollar getting a bounce, but it needs to hold this structure. This needs to be a higher low here. Even if we don't go back to this for a decent relief rally and, potentially a pullback in other assets, this needs to hold as a higher low. The dollar weakness has been extremely apparent all over, right? This is the start of March, right? Basically, March 7th. Where was Bitcoin on March 7th? Down here at 21,000. Where was Ethereum? Down here at 1450. Where was ES? Down here at 3,800. Where was gold? Down here at 1,800. Gold is up. Almost 10% since the dollar topped out there. Silver up even more. 25% since the dollar top. So not only has the chart looked weak, right? The chart has looked weak. All of the things that are denominated against the dollar have been ripping. Let's look at something that's numerated against the dollar. Right? So if the dollar's the denominator in this, so this is effectively, right, DXY. So if the DXY is very weak, what happens to this fraction? It gets bigger. Price goes up. Now, if the DXY, the dollar, is the numerator, as in this pair here, dollar CAD, if the dollar here is weak, this fraction goes down, right? What is gold? XAU USD. So if you have a weak dollar, that's generally bullish for this chart. It's not always a one-to-one, right? You can have a weak dollar, but Bitcoin can be weak as well. But what I'm trying to explain here is that is how cross-market analysis works. And this is why you can look at Ethereum BTC. Because both Ethereum and Bitcoin, right, can be going up. But if this chart is in an uptrend, that means Ethereum is stronger than Bitcoin. And that means if you look at the USD pairs, this is going up more than the BTC USD pair. Even though they both went up, if all of these conditions are met, that's how you determine the relative strength, right? So that's true for the dollar. You can use the dollar, look at it against Bitcoin, look at it against the euro. Look how bullish the euro is. Look how bullish anything denominated against the dollar is going up. Anything numerated with the dollar is going down, right? So I know it seems, basic, but that's something that people don't understand. It's like, this is a fraction. BTC is an asset. USD is another asset. BTC USD is a fraction. Bitcoin versus the US dollar, denominated in US dollar. So if you're looking at it in that essence, you can then use that knowledge that I just kind of explained to you there to do cross-market analysis between the dollar, between other coins, between different currencies. You can do all of that shit. Okay. What do you think about the rapid coming of AI in our lives? I think it's kind of scary because I don't really know how fast it's going to iterate and it's going to improve. I don't know if we have the proper tools in place to monitor it and guard it, I guess, right? Like what it can be used for. I don't really know. A lot of really smart people seem to think AI is terrifying. I love Terminator, Skynet. So we could be seeing, our own version of that coming with AI. I don't know. But I think it's crazy for sure. And it's happening very fast. Like the stuff that they're doing with fake voices, with deep fake video, it's going to be very hard to tell what is real and what isn't. I will take a look at ES, guys. This guy says DXY reacted off yearly bearish OB, now drawing to February's low in the monthly buy side inefficiency, sell side imbalance. I think that's what a busy is. Just below EQ of the monthly range. That's some ICT jargon if I ever heard it. He says off the yearly bearish OB. Where's that? Here? Drawing towards February's low? Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that's the same area I'm looking at, right? I'm like, if this continues to be weak, looks like it wants to trade down to this low. Took out that high. This low seems next. What's up, God John? How you doing, bro? Why am I yelling? Because I'm passionate, man. Yo, Mayne, are we going to see you on the ICT's interview series? If he wants to have me on, I'd be more than happy to. I'm one of the first people to bring ICT to kind of the masses on crypto Twitter. I have an interview where I interview ICT from back in 2018. You're welcome, Steve. Thanks for tuning in. What's up, Adam? How you doing, man? How many years have I been trading? I mean, kind of since 2014, but I didn't really know what I was doing, I'd say, until 2016, 17. That's when I really started to figure it out. But yeah, I had no idea what I was doing in those first few years. I definitely wasn't making money. I know that much. Link to the interview. It's on my YouTube. Just go type in Trader Mayne ICT. You should be able to find it. Bloody Cash. I'm doing good, man. How are you? Okay. Let's look here. So I drew this out last video. I'm like, hey, this could be what plays out on ES here. It's still possible, But goddamn, this move is aggressive. I totally thought that this trend line was going to break, right, on one of these pops, and this was going to roll over and eat shit, and that was going to give us the dump to 25, 2, etc. on Bitcoin. But this has just kept pushing. Now, what has led this? Like, if you look at Microsoft, right? I mean, look at the rally some of these tech stocks have had, right? Tesla up 100%, up 25% in the last, month. What's another one? Nvidia, I think, went crazy, right? So there's a lot of stocks that are heavily weighted in the SPX that just rallied like crazy, right? And this thing just kept pushing higher. I still am not. I don't believe that this is the bottom of this. If it is, what a shitty recession in terms of recessions, in that we didn't really sell off that much, right? But maybe, I'm wrong. Everyone wants to see another, 2008 style crash where we stay down here for ages, right? We have a huge correction and it takes forever to reverse. Maybe this is it. Maybe that was the correction and we're going to start going back up again. I don't know, right? Like, this could be it. Bottom's in. If that's the case, crypto's going to go fucking mental. But I don't believe that the bottom is in on equities yet. I could be wrong. I still think there's a lot of, work to be done, with inflation, managing of interest rates, all these sorts of things that go into, determining the state of the economy. Still yet to be seen. We are seeing the dollar get hammered, right? You're seeing multiple nations come out and saying they no longer want to rely on the dollar, or you're seeing Russia and China actually start settling oil deals outside of the dollar. So that's bad all around, right? If you think about it, part of my thesis for the dollar bouncing is just how bearish everyone is on it. But that's not enough, right? You still need a trade idea. But I don't believe that the bottom is in on SPX yet, personally. I do still think that this trades lower. I would like to think that it trades back to these pre-COVID levels. I don't know. But I was wrong on this rally. I was bullish here for a bounce. And then I was hoping that this was just kind of a trendline liquidity situation where this eventually eats shit. Could still happen. Right now, I'm basically just watching this range. And if we deviate back inside here, then for sure, I think we get a big puke, and then, Bitcoin and etc. also go down. But for now, this keeps pushing higher. Where do we go from here? If it keeps pushing higher, you start looking to the left, right? You say, okay, maybe we trade up to 42. Maybe we trade up to 43. And then we pull back. Maybe we don't pull back at fucking all. And that was it. I don't know. But I'm kind of watching the next few days, and I'm watching this high. I want to see how we react around this kind of consolidation cluster here, right? You have a order block here. This was a fair value gap I'd marked out. Let's see here. Daily bearish order block here. We did put in a daily SFP, but I would want to see this part of the move retrace, get back under 4080, 4100, 4080, back in here, then sure, I think the pullback happens. Otherwise, this could just consolidate here and then leg up again and take out this high and then potentially go up to that high at 43, right? So I don't really have a super clear bias on this at the moment. This is a big, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight green 12-hour candles. That does not happen very often. Not even close. Yeah, I don't even know when the last time we had 10 straight green ones happen. Obviously, we closed red today, and we're working on a new candle now. But 10 straight green candles without a pullback is kind of crazy. not, again, that's not a, it's not a trade idea. It's just more of a, okay, we're looking at, we're looking at, a large move without a correction, right? That's what we're looking at here. So we have this huge price leg here with almost no pullback. So let's see, maybe we pull back into this range now. I don't know yet, but it looks bullish. This looks like a breakout, and then it looks like it kind of just wants to retest and then go higher. It's very hard to say. Don't have the best read on equities right now. I was trying to find reasons for this to roll over here. I did not expect this. And that it is what it is, right? You reassess, there's new price action, you make a new plan. So right now, I see this 12-hour price leg as potential areas to pull back, and then liquidity being above here and up here based on this high over here, right? So let's see if we get that pullback. I don't know. This guy says, so you're basically still new? I would say I've been trading consistently and pretty well for almost 6 years now. You're saying you're retail. We're all retail, bro. You are also retail. None of us are not retail. One of my most annoying things you see on Twitter is people being like, this is what retail is doing. We're all fucking retail, right? Unless you're trading at an institution, or you're an institutional like level trader, like you're trading at a hedge fund or you own a hedge fund or whatever, you're retail, bro. You might trade, counter to retail ideas. You might not use trend lines and things like that, but I think that's just a term that people like to throw around, being like, I'm not a retail trader. I trade smart money concepts only. I trade what the institutions trade. Maybe you do, but you are a retail trader. All right, guys. Let's see here. Mayne, I watched your video with Will Hunting yesterday from a few months ago. It was solid gold. Yeah, that's a great video. Definitely check that one out. By liquidity, do you mean liquidations or just people looking to take action in the zones? So this is a good learning example here. So the idea, right, of liquidity, how I view it, right? This is not necessarily true, right? I don't know if this is actually how the mechanics of the market work, but this is how I learned and how I conceptualize the idea of liquidity. Let's assume that there is a move to happen up to this high. So we're going to see a move up to this high, right? If you want to accumulate a long, right? If you are a large player who has the ability to actually move the market, right? The idea with liquidity is that below old lows, what is resting there? Right? What is under an old low? Sell stops, right? Because if you are in a long and you're like, okay, I'm long here, my stop is here. What is your stop? Your stop is in order to sell, to close that long position. So there's sell side liquidity below you, sell stops, whatever you want to call it. So if you're this large player, this is how I learned to do it again. I'm not 100% sure how the actual fucking market works. This is just how I logically conceptualize things, and it seems to work for me. And this is stuff I learned from ICT and things like that, and Trader SZ and all those guys. If I want to get long, how do you get long, right? you need to buy. So what do you need to do to buy? Well, you need sellers. So if price is going to eventually trade up here and an entity says, okay, there's a low here. If that price gets driven down below that low, what happens? These sell orders hit the market. They get bought up, right? And then price goes to the next liquidity objective. If you got in a long down here, how do you get out of that long? Into buy stops above an old high, right? Because you are now selling your position into buyers. There's going to be people with buy stops here, and there's going to be people with breakout orders here, breakout long orders, and you're selling into that liquidity. So that's how I view liquidity, right? Is below old lows is sell side, above old highs is buy side. And the idea is that to get long, I want to see a move below sell side, and to get short, I want to see a move above buy side. And the idea is there's orders resting above these old highs and old lows that are being used to pair orders of the, smart money, the institutions, whatever, the big player who's actually driving the overall direction on the market. Now, that's how I view liquidity. That's what I learned. Again, I don't know the inner workings of the fucking markets. I don't know if there's an algorithm that's running this shit. I don't know about heat maps or any of that kind of shit. I don't use any of that. This is just how I learned to do it. And to me, it makes sense logically, right? Where it's like, okay, if I think price is going to eventually trade up to, that high here, up here, right? Or into here, probably makes sense to run these lows, pair up sell side orders with buys, and then the actual move happens, right? And this is the retail getting fucked, right? Their stop is here, retail, and price dips right into where their stop is, and then it goes the direction they thought it was going to go, right? That's why often double tops and things like that you'll see, right? You'll see this, and it's like, oh, it's a double top, right? It's going to sell off, and then what does it do? It runs the highs, and then it sells off. Right? One last push and then it sells off. So that you'll see this all over in the market, right? Obvious areas where price, that's why people say equal highs, equal lows. These stops are too obvious. That's kind of the logic I use when I say, okay, if I think price is going to trade higher, I want to see it blow out an old low first. If I think price is going to trade lower, I want to see it blow out an old high and then trade lower. Have you bought any new watches as of late? No, I have not. This is my most recent purchase. This is a yellow gold day date, the baguette dial. But yeah, that's when I talk about liquidity, that's what I am referring to. I don't know if there's, like tools that some people are using to determine, hey, there's liquidations here and shit like that. I don't use any of that. My entire strategy revolves around what I just explained, right? Seeing old highs and old lows is areas where potential reversals might happen. And can I get involved? And then again, can my risk be defined? That's the SFP idea, right? There's your SFP. What is that? The idea here is there's sell side under here, right? There's sell stops. Tagged, and then the move happens. And I frame my trades around these types of moves. Run the buy side, then pull back. That's how I frame all of my fucking trades. Okay. How long did it take me to find consistency? A long time. A couple years. Do you update your Discord or Telegram more often? The Telegram is read only. I just post my charts in there. The idea of the Telegram is this is like my Twitter feed without all the shit posting. Anything I post in Telegram automatically gets posted in Discord. I have a bot set up that pushes it all to the Discord. But Discord is also a place where you can interact with me and other traders who trade how I trade and like how I trade. And they're all posting charts in there. It's a nice little community that we've built. This guy says, I still remember when Mayne bought 2 Rolexes at the 60K BTC. People flamed him because they thought BTC was going to 100K. Ended up being the most Chad trade of the cycle. Yes, I did sell the top of BTC USD and I bought the bottom of Rolex USD. So that was a good trade. Yeah, generally when I buy watches, the market dumps. So if you ever see me post about buying a watch on Twitter, be prepared that the market might fucking nuke. But yeah, I think I'm going to end the video around here, guys. So hopefully my plan's pretty clear. I want to see how these next couple candles close on Ethereum. Potentially looking to buy the dip on a long. Got to see how Bitcoin closes here, but it is looking strong. It is looking bullish. ES, again, unless it gets back below this old high, it looks pretty good and it looks like it wants higher. And the dollar really needs to get back above this old low if it's going to rally. Otherwise, it looks like it does want to trade down to February's low. So if this remains bearish, right, I think we trade towards February's low on the dollar, which is bullish for Bitcoin, bullish for equities, bullish for commodities, bullish for Ethereum, bullish, bullish, bullish for anything that is denominated in USD. So that's what we'll be watching for here. But yeah, sorry I can't be here a little longer. I got to go play basketball. I'm actually going to be late if I don't leave right now. But yeah, hope you guys learned something. Hope you enjoyed. I'll be back with another video midweek. I'm here for the entire month of April, so I want to post a lot more content this month. Really do a lot of streams and videos and things like that. Maybe we'll bring back the gambling streams, that sort of shit. But yeah, hopefully everyone's doing good. Everyone's happy and making some money and continues to do so. And I will sign out here and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out. Thanks for tuning in.